Good morning and welcome back. Today is Wednesday, November 13th. I'm glad we're all together today. We are having popcorn chicken roll and mashed potatoes for lunch today. And tomorrow morning we will have chocolate bread and fruit for breakfast. That sounds really good. Tomorrow we have a special day for our first, second, and third graders. All of you that have brought back your permission slips will be going to Mount Vernon Township High School to see the play Treasure Island, and the play is put on by the high school students, so we're excited that you get to take part in that. So make sure though that we have your permission slip so you can go. We don't want you to miss out on that. We have some special news on accelerated readers. So for all of our classes that are using that, this month we want to recognize the students and the classrooms that have read the most words. So every time you take an accelerated reader test, the system is able to know how many words you had to read in each book. So they add that all up. So I want to let you know that Mrs. Plummer's first grade class, you have read, we're going to talk about some big numbers here, 16,243 words all together as a class. That's awesome. In third place in the whole school is Mrs. Baumhager's class. You have read, get this, 332,534 words. Mrs. Nolan's third grade class, you're in second place. You have 327,649 words read so far this year. And in first place of the whole school, the class who has read the most words is second grade Mrs. Phelps's class. This is a really big number. 546,723 words. Amazing. So let me just read off the student from each class that has read the most words in their class. So in Mr. Jackson's class, Nelson Sawyer. Mrs. Cantley's class, Isaiah Campbell. Mrs. Coleman's class, Lincoln Davis. Mrs. Christ's class, Paxton Brown. In Miss Glidewell's class, E.J. Lamb. Miss Hart's class, Seth Payne. Mrs. Hernandez's class is Gracie Potts. Mrs. Marcus's class, James Hicks. Mrs. Merrill's class, it's Serenity Dennis. In Mrs. Nolan's class, Henry Sturry. In Mrs. Parks's class, Lana Loonsman. Mrs. Plummer's class, John Agling. In Miss Pittman's class, Tatum Williams. Miss Rains's class, Bentley Odell. Miss Thompson's class, Coraline May. And in third place of all the students in the school that are doing AR, we have Miss Brose's student, Madeline Knapp, in third place. In second place, from Mrs. Baumhager's class, is Graham Bullard. And in first place in the whole school, the student who has read the most words is from Miss Hoffman's class, Hazel Flanagan. And Hazel has read 97,545 words. You go, Hazel. That is awesome. All right, we are proud of all of you. Reading is just making you smarter every time you're reading those books. So thank you for doing that. And we want to wish a happy birthday today to Clara I. James. We hope you have a great birthday today, Clara. All right, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Mrs. Kessler, and good morning, everyone. And to follow up on what Mrs. Kessler was reading about accelerated reader, the way that those students received so many points and read so many words is because they're reading every single day. Try to make it a point to read a book every single day, and your numbers and your points will get up there as well. As usual, we'd like you to stand, place your hand over your heart, and join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today's Wednesday, so our trivia question for you is, what is the hardest natural substance on Earth? So the hardest natural substance on Earth. See if you can tell us the correct answer to that. And also today, November 13th, is World Kindness Day. Okay, out of all days, I need to see kindness spread throughout the building. Have a great day.